3, 2, 1.
Jesus. Hello and welcome to the JPOD, episode 5. Wow. Today, me and Jack. Oh wait, my name's Joe.
It's definitely
and
more
this is
than
Jack.
5.
This is episode 5.
This is good. Is it?
I promise you.
Oh god, I feel like we've been going forever.
We're old men.
Yeah.
Alright, well that was a good intro.
That was good.
So yeah, my name's Joe. This is Jack.
I'm Jack. Hi, nice
We today are
make
here
your
to talk about
acquaintance.
Black Mirror, a
Yeah.
show we love. We think it's brilliant. We think it's one of the only shows that does what it does so well. And we're going to tell you a little bit about our favourite episodes.
We are.
Why they're our favourite.
It's probably one of the best things in TV at the moment. It's completely unique apart from Inside Number 9, which is almost, I think we had to give that a kind of a shout out, quickly. It's obviously we'll probably do a separate one, I imagine. But that's really it with Black Mirror. We wanted to do a special on it because it's nothing you can really encapsulate within, it doesn't have a set genre or anything like that. So we're gonna go for it now. We're gonna bang out a few quick analytic points.
It's not the only thing we're going to bang out, am I right? High five! That was a recorded high five.
I really wish we had
Alright, well now...
This has been an absolutely disgusting intro, but... Joe, what's your favourite Black Mirror episode?
My favourite
Black
Mirror episode, season 5.
Reel them off. It's not like we've got 3 in a list to every... It's a structure.
From season 5,
yeah.
episode 2, Smithereens. Very recent, actually. I think it came out a couple of weeks ago.
Extreme.
And it's my favourite. It just instantly... I saw Andrew Scott was in it. I knew it would be good.
He's amazing.
I love him in everything he's been in so far. And, he pulled it off. He was like a man on the on the verge of a meltdown. It was really well done. He didn't overdo it. He only had one actual proper rant when he started sort of being the crazy Moriarty sort of character.
And that was perfect.
And that was exactly where it needed to be halfway through, not even towards the end. And it was unexpected. You thought he was going to, So basically, this is a spoiler, but he kidnaps an employee at a company, mostly because he was looking at that company's app on his phone when he crashed the car and killed his wife.
Yes.
And the guilt has consumed him. Fiance, yes, Jack.
Yeah.
Fake fan. And it's a brilliant episode. It's an hour and 10. I didn't want it to end. I love
I agree.
Any movie with a hostage, any episode with a hostage situation involved. I love it. And Black Mirror, their take on it was the best I've seen so far. I felt like I was in the car. I felt like I was in America. I felt like I was in his life in the car when he crashed. It was just brilliant.
They get a real sense of space and intensity in that episode.
They do, and he's not a villain. That's the problem.
He is. Yeah.
I wouldn't say anti-hero. He is a villain in the end. You're not allowed to take people hostage. Am I right, Jack? But
I'm sure I'm not a villain. Go on.
It's
How do you think we get these out so quickly?
I know, right? Just go, Jack, get out of the dungeon. It's time.
Love a good dungeon.
Anyhow, I think it's a really brilliant look at social media addiction.
Yes.
And a lot of other shows have tried it, and it's sort of really on the nose, and it doesn't work. There's a film called Warm Bodies, which is
I've never seen it.
It's a rom-com.
Yeah.
A zombie romantic comedy.
This is going amazing so far.
Jesus.
We're hitting all the key points.
A zombie comedy.
Go on, yes.
And there's a little nod in that where they go, we've always been zombies. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to the modern world and everyone's just on their phone walking about like a zombie. And it was...
Oh, that's bad.
It's a bad little... It's like, shut up. If you're not going to offer a solution or offer an insight, don't mention it in your film.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the... Stop segueing. Break your segue in half.
Oh, that's you.
Stick to Black Mirror.
You need to take the wheels off that bad boy.
It really looks at intrusive tech corporations
yes.
in a way that we haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. I think it's 2018 when it was revealed that Facebook was sort of leaking people's data. Mm-hmm. So it came in the perfect time.
And kind of it uses WhatsApp data to sell you stuff, that kind of thing. Like they're listening. NASA listening. The Earth is flat. Yeah, but I thought
Smithereens was not only brilliantly acted, but it was a brilliant take on quite an old problem now, but it was a personal look. The way it was all about this little nod that he just looked at his phone. It's like 3 seconds off the road, and he killed his fiancée and another man. And the same with Previously, early in the episode, you see a woman who lost her daughter, and she's constantly trying to log on to her social media profile, and it's just like social media is in everyone's lives, and it looks like the really deep impacts which you don't see.
But there are positives and negatives to it. That's why it's such
the way it ends with a positive.
Yeah, that is why it's such a strong episode and such a strong take on it, because it's polarizing.
It's the whole. Yeah. It's almost a redeeming quality to this guy, because he basically he's this one sort of good deed fixes it all in my mind. Even though he ends up, spoilers, being shot in the head by a sniper. It's also where he wanted to go.
You don't know that.
It's true, actually. It does leave up for imagination.
And I love that. And
she misses the first shot.
Yeah.
And then she takes a shot again.
In the shoulder, right?
It ends. Yeah.
So that's one of the main things about Black Mirror is its strength in how to end things. It knows when
twist endings.
We're going to talk about Shut Up and Dance later on, which has one of the most powerful endings I think I've ever seen in a Black Mirror episode. Go ahead.
Just the intense sort of ambiguity that they have at the end of each, where you're like, that could have gone either way.
It was perfect to end it in that exact gunshot. That was perfect because you don't have to see that as a viewer. You've been through his grief, and you've been through
tied up.
Yeah. You've been through his grief, and you've been through what he needs to convey as a character. You don't need to see a death, and I think that's a lot of things that. Well, that's something that's like kind of groomed throughout television as a whole. Is that you need to see a death? You need to see
exactly.
You need to see something dramatic happen at the end, but no, you can have just a story about grief, and that's what it is. I think its representation of grief is absolutely staggering.
It's taking this theme of social media, making it human again. Yeah, and how it affects human lives. Yeah, I really like it.
Topher Grace is great as young Billy Bauer.
Yeah,
he's really good.
Jesus Christ himself.
He was really good.
It was good.
Performances as a whole in that episode were absolutely.
They were,
aced.
And they were accurate. Perfect. Like it's exactly what this young tech giant would be like. He's like I didn't want this company to be this way, and it's all about him, and he is they're very indulgent people like that, and I know it was excellent. Really great characters all around. Jack, tell me your favourite episode of Black Mirror ever.
Well, I liked Smithereens, but you took that one, so that's okay. My favourite episode is Hang the DJ.
Hang the DJ.
Hang the DJ.
And copyright strike now.
We are, that's it. That's completely it.
We're out. Sorry, guys. That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah, so, in essence, Hang the DJ is the perfect love story I think I've ever seen across any film, TV show ever. Apart from Jim and Pam in The Office, I'm pretty sure that's, he's crying. He's even crying. This is beautiful. So apart from Jim and Pam in The Office, I think this is the best, representation of a love story you're going to find. It has twists and turns.
Mate, you haven't seen the Zom rom-com, Warm Bodies.
I have not. Please do enlighten me.
I don't want to. Continue.
Warm Bodies review coming soon to our website, which we're definitely going to
Next on the JPOD.
Warm Bodies review. Love stories. We love them, do we not?
We do love them. Black Mirror's done them really well as well.
It's how it uses the setting, I think, mostly, because what it is, it's essentially, it is Tinder in a village. I think that's fair to say.
It's Love Island.
That's a good way of putting it. It's Love Island with a timer.
Yeah.
And you know when it's going to end. And it uses the elements of the setting of there's nowhere else to go. So them two obviously love each other. It's John from Peaky Blinders. I don't remember his name. And that chick. I should have revised this.
I also do not know the name.
But it's the way that they are in love. They are in love and they can't get away from that because they're in this constant kind of cycle of being bounced between guy to guy, girl to girl.
And it's the first time you see this technology. I love that. Whenever Black Mirror brings in a new tech, I love it. So this is like a dating app taken to this new extreme of Black Mirror, which is the first time you've ever seen anything
it's
like
it. It's a dating app that takes the humanity out of it. And that's what makes the love story so poignant, is that the humanity manages to shine through in such kind of a robotic...
And they escape, and it's 99.9% of the time...
It's quite a bit.
I
think it was 9,000 something. Escapes recorded.
Every single time. Yeah. There's only that one perfect couple, and they're the anomaly. They're the glitch.
Yeah.
Whereas you think that these two are the glitch in the system. Yeah. It's excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful love story, and it uses the two actors to their highest capability. It's really emotional. You pull for them the whole way through. It's not very Black Mirror. I wouldn't say it's not bleak really in that many ways. It gets kind of sad in the middle. There is definitely like, this high point at the start. You have a kind of a trough in the middle where everyone is down in the dumps, and there's a hell of a lot of naked sex. There is an overwhelming amount
as
of
opposed to
naked
clothed sex.
As opposed to
which
clothed
is my
sex.
favourite.
You prefer that.
I do.
So I've heard.
I just fully clothed.
Oh, this is going well.
It is.
My
mum listens to these.
It's a very intense episode, especially during that middle part.
Yeah.
And you get a sense of pain because I am not someone who has experienced this type of pain, but I imagine that's what it feels like. So that's what I'm kind of basing it off. So Black Mirror, you've done a good job in forming me as a human being.
Yeah.
In essence, though, it is just perfect.
What do you think about the song? Do you like? I think it's a funky song. I have it on one of my playlists.
It is a funky song.
Yeah,
it's a funky song. I think it's great at the end because it's repetitive.
Mm-hmm. And it's a metaphor. You're hanging the DJ, you're hanging the
man
disc
who's
jockey.
controlling that kind of thing.
Brilliant.
And
they nailed it.
They nailed metaphors with Black Mirror is something that we will speak about. But every single episode has a metaphor or a hidden meaning or something that, relates to something else. You talked about Smithereens being about social media.
True facts.
And that is something that it's always done so strongly. And within them first two, I know we've mentioned that they're our favourite ones ever.
Yeah.
And we're going to be, biased towards them too, rather than, one that we didn't like Metalhead, for example. I think we can all agree
we can all shit on
that Metalhead is complete shit. A lot of people like it, though, because it's in black and white, so who am I to judge? Hang the DJ, it's perfect.
It is perfect.
Your second offering,
My
please.
second offering to the gods of the pod.
Black Mirror.
I have to. I'm just going to go on a little.
Gods.
This isn't my second favourite, but I'm going to counter your Hang the DJ best love story ever with San Junipero, because it's not one I want to talk about in my three. But I just want to say that San Junipero is a better love story.
No, it isn't. It isn't.
I do. I know what you mean now.
It's
now
the
you've said
setting
the whole,
that makes it.
They've fought to get out. It is sweeter.
Yes.
Your story, San Junipero. I'm sorry. The reaction that was invoked in me from that episode.
Yes.
Way more than Hang the DJ. So I think that's what counts in the end.
It drags more. It's not as a compelling watch.
You just sort of want to go, honestly, get the hell over it in that one. In this one, it's more...
You're just pulling for them because it's coming. You know it's coming. And it's that moment where they say, I don't want to look at the timer.
Yeah.
And it's also like, when will you learn that your actions have consequences?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what they go for there, and it's kind of it's a metaphor that one-sided relationships, they're not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Again, new technology as well. That's why I like San Junipero, because it's taking the whole cookies to a new level, which is brilliant. Yeah. Okay.
It merges two time periods perfectly, San Junipero.
Exactly.
I'm not going to lie. Mm. It does.
And, the 80s disco, way better than the Hang the DJ song. I'm sorry. I want to see him going down in an 80s club way before that song. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
That
would certainly become a chicken
Anyway,
dinner.
Jack, do you want to ask me what my second favourite episode of the Black Mirror is?
Joe, what is your second favourite episode, and what is an episode that you'd like to talk about now that surely has some sort of, media merit to it? Please let me know.
The USS Callister.
Okay.
It is the first of season 4.
Yeah.
It is bloody amazing.
Yeah.
I have never watched the original Star Trek.
Original Star Trek.
As in, original Klingons when they had makeup that were just your hands over your eyes.
Yeah.
I've seen the movies with Simon Pegg, which I think are the best.
We've mentioned that.
And I have not seen Star Trek Beyond because apparently it is garbage.
Is that the Netflix series?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shite, but go on.
But this is my favourite episode of the show, very nearly. It was until Smithereens came along. Just because there is a sort of... I'm not sure this is a word or not, but it's the recontextualization halfway through where the hero and the villain, or not the hero and the villain, but the hero and a character you dislike are switched. So it goes from...
It's an antagonist rather than a villain.
You're backing Daly, who is this sort of morally compromised man who he's like, he's bad, but does he deserve this sort of, like, should he get it, should he not? It's the whole Cersei Lannister side of things. Back to Game of Thrones. Anyway.
Bronn will come up later on. So.
He's a character that you're fighting for, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, hang on, no, I wasn't back in the pervert, I wasn't on the side of the freak, and it sort of makes you think, it catches you. And it's the best part of Black Mirror.
It makes you feel like you're a bad person. Mm-hmm. I love that.
And Nanette, who's played by a wonderful actor who I cannot remember the name of, very sadly. I think it's Christine. But I don't know her surname, so it just feels like I'm saying random names.
Christine.
Anyway, Nanette becomes the hero, and you're fighting... You're sort of struggling alongside with her, and you really want her to get out, and she manages to contact her real life person. It's incredible, and it's a sort of familiar technology. It's almost cookies. It's like clones of people in computers, but it's reworked by this episode.
Similar idea,
but completely reworked. Yeah. Which is why I like it so much. They
play with that idea of cookies extremely well, and we're not going to mention that a whole lot.
No,
I don't think this episode.
None of. Oh no, sorry, I am.
White Christmas.
White Christmas is entirely based on the cookies.
It is, but there are a lot of. It's that other thing about Black Mirror is how it links the ideas in with each other. We just watched the one with what's it called? The one with Miley Cyrus,
Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2.
And Ashley 2. And that kind of that has the connotations of AI. What it means it's the same. It's more or less the same technology. Similar,
they all have very similar stuff, which is why I like that, because you're back in the Black Mirror universe.
It's like striking vipers and playtests.
Yeah,
it's beautiful how it's
all linked.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that in a second.
That's interesting.
I just want to finish this.
Yeah, go ahead.
USS Callister.
Yes,
was my favorite episode. It's a sci-fi setting. Oh, little throwback to our previous podcast. If you haven't checked that out yet, do check it out.
Link in the description.
It's called Sci-Fi and Chill. Just Google it, you'll find it. If you're a subscriber.
Is it actually?
It is, yeah.
It's called it Sci-Fi and Chill.
Well, I want to call this one, instead of Black Mirror, I want to call it Dark Window. If you don't mind.
I would not mind at all. People will click on it, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting the heavy clicks.
We really are.
But this is...
It is Kristen Milotti, by the way.
Thank you. I was close. I didn't say a certain name at all, but I was close. USS Callister was my favourite episode just because it is the heart of Black Mirror. Mm-hmm. It is twists, it is turns, it is technology gone bad. It is not the technology that's bad, it's the humans that are bad turning the technology bad.
And it's complex.
It's complex.
It's
way too
complex. It's what pushes it above everything else on TV. It knows it knows its own content obscenely well. Mm-hmm.
And it's dealing with like a really pessimistic look at technology, but in a way that you think, oh, there's still hope. It's not about, technology isn't inherently bad. It's the people who are bad, and as long as there are good people in control of the stuff, it can flip out. And I think it's brilliant. I really enjoyed this sort of Star Trek scene. It was because I haven't seen a single episode of the original Star Trek, but because I've seen the movies, because I've seen like memes from Star Trek.
You get the idea.
You know exactly. It's like callbacks to things you haven't even seen, and you still feel back at home. And no, it's excellent. Really, really, really great ending as well.
Really strong.
Like spoilers again. They kill Daly, which I think is fair enough. He's not killed. I think he's just trapped in this like pod basically. But it is exactly what he deserves by the end of it, because he does take things too far. And on top of that, we get Aaron Paul, Jesse himself at the end, with his little bitch. I'm the king of space, bitch. It's wonderful.
Aaron Paul should not be Jesse. He should be that dude from the Need for Speed movie.
Oh, sorry. Have
you ever seen the Need for Speed movie?
I haven't, no.
Excellent.
Have you seen Central Intelligence?
No, Kevin Hart and
The Rock. He's in that as well.
Is he?
And he's really good, and he just says bitch, and it made me cry when I saw it. A great episode.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Jack, do you want to tell me what your second favourite episode of Black Mirror is?
No, I feel like this is a cheat, but it's Bandersnatch.
No, it's an episode. Technically, it's an interactive
episode. It's not as good as You vs. Wild, the Bear Grylls edition. It's nowhere near as good.
I almost spat water.
When we spent literally an hour attempting to murder Bear Grylls. You know, whether he should, jump over a ravine or just walk across a bridge. It is things that are just as consequential as them huge decisions. Is it cornflakes and what is it? It's Cocoa Pops and Frosties, right?
It's a mix between
I can't remember.
honey nut or Cocoa Pops, something like that.
And
other brands are available.
It makes you feel the weight of decisions of people living in these universes.
But it's like the butterfly effect, sort of, but then it's not in any way.
Yes,
that's what everyone thinks it's going to be. It's going to be your actions here affect your future in a way that even if you try and go back and change it,
it's irreversible.
But it doesn't do that. That's not what's important in the end. It's about the choices that are made towards the end that finalise the game.
It forms a character that is informed by you, and that's quite because you can choose him to make him a little shit and angry, shout at your dad, porty over your computer, that kind of thing, whack him with an ashtray. It allows you to form a character and that's something that's so strong in Black Mirror is that the character is so deep and you get to do it.
What was your first ending?
My first ending was
spoilers.
Kind of a boring one. He gets caught trying to bury his dad.
Oh yeah,
and that is boring.
And what stars do you get on the game for that? What out of 5?
I feel like it
probably like a 3.
I feel like it was average.
Middle ground.
I feel like it was average. Yeah.
So I was trying to be really nice.
Your favorite ending?
Because I was like, I want, he's a sweet boy. He needs to be protected and cherished. And then the game forces you to take a dark turn. Otherwise, the game comes out crap. So at the end, I think I probably killed someone. No, I was sent to therapy, and then the actor who's playing the boy you're controlling gets stuck and thinks he's the actual character. Oh, it's very confusing. I loved it. And my first and second playthrough even, brilliant. And then the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh time, I was just trying to sort of find like the perfect path through it, and it just felt like
I adore that they put the the premature death one in there. And then
he's gone.
He goes, and it never happened. I think
he's my favourite actor in all of it as well.
No, I think it's amazing. I genuinely think that's an absolutely amazing. It's a masterstroke.
What's it called? Will? Is it Will Young? Who plays that the blonde-haired?
I'm not sure.
Original designer? I'll find it for you. He's also in Son of Rambo
and Maze Runner.
Yeah,
him. Yeah. All right, I'll see you later then.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a bit of a meme for a bit, bless him, but he got through it. I hope. He was great in it. The performances as a whole were great, but as I was saying, the kind of like the way that you can kind of emulate Charlie Brooker and the writing of Black Mirror was so complimentary to an audience that stayed through it for so long and a very loyal fan base, I feel like. So you get the chance to make your own Black Mirror ending in effect.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel completely special because it's the one thing that
Will Poulter. Will Poulter.
Makes you feel special as a viewer because you've gone through all these things, and the one thing that sticks out to everyone about Black Mirror is the endings, as we mentioned.
I didn't really like. There was one moment in it where you can, when he asks the computer who's doing this, who's controlling it, and you can either say Netflix or you can pop up the white bear symbol, and I was like, it's taking it too far saying Netflix.
Too meta.
And if they were going to make that choice, why wouldn't they make it that every single time you play through, the world becomes more and more destabilized? I thought
just like a simulation.
Yeah,
yeah, beautiful.
I thought that'd be excellent. And the more and more you do it, the more empty it is. Have you seen Russian Doll, the Netflix show?
No, the one with Nikki from Orange. Yeah. No.
That does a similar thing. Every single time she comes back, people from her world are missing.
Is it good?
And it's breaking. It's a really good show. Recommend that, by the way, everyone who's listening. But it is
listening to you. Talking to you.
Listening to you.
Listening to me.
We're not listening to that. Look, let's just listen to that for a second. Yeah. There's no one talking.
Absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
We're not in a simulation. It's fair. I was expecting a little, Netflix.
The CIA agent goes, oh shit.
To the FBI open up, someone with a battering.
Why would they care about us, you think?
I don't know. Because we're proving
this some pretty edgy views, let's be honest.
There was something last night, and I'm just going to quickly, because we are on kind of a simulation thing.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like I need to tell you about, because it's a conspiracy theory, or like the theory that
you're quite
we all live in a simulation, right? There was a coaster that we were looking at online yesterday.
Do you mean a coaster like this coaster?
I think it was a coaster, not a roller coaster, the one that you put a drink on.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, me and Katie were looking at it online yesterday. and it says Hannah and Ben. Now, we know a couple called Hannah and Ben, and then it had a wedding date on it. So we're going to screenshot that wedding date because that might be a blip in the simulation.
And it's like a little bit of forward information.
That is, they might have got the data mixed up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like, I think coincidences happen, and it could be a simulation.
No, I think we're in a simulation.
Or it could just be we're looking for little things like that because we're desperate to get out of the cycle of death.
Yes.
I mean, circle of life.
But as much as we've talked about in Bandersnatch, we'll go back now. In Bandersnatch,
takes back into the
as much as we've talked about being in control.
Oh, yeah.
And that whole idea of, making your own ending, making your own character, you aren't. You're never in control. It's the idea of suppression, and you think you have free will. It's like the idea to vote. You can vote, but
are you
in my
anti-democracy?
I'm not. But in my opinion,
we're gonna shut this down. I'm sorry, Jack.
FBI, open up. It was.
The FBI
it's the idea of you can vote, but it's not. A lot of the time, it won't do anything.
Jack, I don't like these opinions coming from you.
It won't.
It will be shut down.
It's a stupid idea, but you get the idea. You get what I'm saying. You're not gonna stop all bad in the world from
voting the Green Party.
from putting your opinion in, that kind of thing. And I think that's what Booker kind of wants to convey, is that some things you can't help.
It's true. It's the tiny little percentage or the tiny little tick on a box that it's in the end it's insignificant. We're all going to die in the inevitable
exactly.
death
It's
of the universe.
It's the idea of like a social construct of all you've really got is your time and nothing else.
Yeah.
And I think he conveys that really well, and obviously it's really deep, and half of these Black Mirror episodes will absolutely fry your brain if you think about it too much. Like, you're going to mention White Christmas pretty soon.
Oh, very soon.
And, oh my lord, my head has exploded thinking about that. But, Bandersnatch, the interactive film played by you. I'm gonna say yay because of the Fight Club ending, because you just start beating the shit out of your therapist. It's so good.
She has like nunchucks, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's got nunchucks, and you've got like batons, right? Or knives.
Cool, yeah.
It's pretty.
No, she has knives. You have batons.
Yeah. No, it's fucking great, and I respect it because I think it's kind of that's a joke ending, right? I think that's fair enough.
I think the ultimate ending,
it covers all bases,
is when you win it. You win it as. So have you ever seen, spoilers again, have you ever seen the ending where you go back to the screenplay writer?
Yeah.
Is that at the end of every single one? I can't remember right now. Because you finish the main plot, the credits roll, and then...
It's like an epilogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But then I thought that was the secret ending, but no, fair enough then.
The secret ending's the one where he dies.
Well, he kills his dad, and the head is on
the one where he dies earlier on. So, like, when he dies as a child.
Oh, when you make him jump.
No, the one where he gets hit by it, where he goes in the car with his mum.
Oh, of course.
That's the secret ending. It's just that a lot of people stumbled across it, so it wasn't so secret.
Shame. I feel like they could have done more with it. I think obviously they spent a lot of money on it, and that's why this season's been so short. But it could have been. I really would have liked that whole crumbling effect. Like the more and more you play it, the more and more it's broken. But I don't know how hard that would have been to program. So it's fair enough. I did enjoy it. I spent about 5 hours in Australia just sat there going, yes, I must get this boy.
Bandersnatch.
I must get the Bandersnatch game.
I'll see you later then.
I'll see you later then.
That was great, and it's like program and control. Yeah, it was really pack. Yeah, great.
Spawned a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it's not the first of its kind. As I said, You versus Wild.
No, that came after.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Came after. This was the first of its kind.
No. Puss in Boots. Have you ever played the Puss in Boots
one
on Netflix? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, I played that before.
I swear this is the first.
But it isn't the first, but it is one of. It's the best. It's the only one to do it seriously. It's the only one to actually do it seriously.
You versus Wild.
It's like Until Dawn. Have you ever played that on?
No, I have.
PS4?
Yeah.
Perfect. It's that kind of thing.
Old now as well.
It's very old.
Yeah.
It's like 2014, right? 2015.
I mean, we're fresh and funky.
We are fresh boys.
We don't reference Warm Bodies, a film from 2013. All right. Jack, do you want to ask me what my third favourite episode is?
I mean, I absolutely love to. What is your third favourite episode,
I can't believe you asked, Jack.
Is it something to do with a seasonal holiday?
It is actually. It's Green Easter, my favourite of the 8 Black Mirror episodes.
I would love to see that.
Imagine, a parody. No, White Christmas, of course.
White Christmas.
Which came at... I believe it was the Christmas special in the season 3. I cannot confirm that, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. And it's amazing. First of all, John Hamm, Daddy,
Yes, great in Baby Driver.
Great in Baby Driver.
Great in Baby
Great
Driver.
in the bedroom. I heard.
I would let him drive my baby.
Shh.
Oh, I'm not gonna. I'd say
delete
that.
We'll get banned.
We will get banned. Delete
It's
that.
lewd. Okay.
That is completely lewd.
Anyway,
that's Book of Mormon stuff right there. Continue.
Thank you. White Christmas focuses on embedded technology again. So, like the contact lenses you can't take out, like the cookies, which have been referenced before in the show. This is all about that, and it's like a culmination of the first 3 seasons, and it links it together nicely. Again,
it does.
It's very similar to Black Museum, which is why black and white colours. I really like that.
Oh,
just because it summarises it all. So
is that?
Maybe it's purposeful.
Is that deliberate?
I'm not sure.
I hope so.
Me too.
I can see it.
But this embedded technology is the most disturbing part of Black Mirror. It's the fact that it's this technology that's built into you. You could have a cookie taken of your brain, and it's technically still you, and it's trapped in this cycle. So
that's terrifying.
I'm going to stop saying spoilers because, of course, this is spoiler filled. But spoilers because in this episode you see 2 men trapped in this. Basically, it's like a prison cell in the middle of the Arctic tundra, and it's like a mysterious background. It's a mysterious start. The tales are sort of intertwined, and you slowly find out throughout it that they're all connected. There are connections throughout all the stories. The technology is referred to again and again and again, and sort of the human errors that are made, and the sort of mistakes which are made lovingly in some cases, and in other cases they are just pretty messed up.
With Rafe Spall's story. Mm-hmm. Rafe Spall, by the way, excellent in this.
He is excellent. Rafe Spall, John Hamm.
What a cast!
It is.
And what a cast.
Some brilliant characters.
Black Mirror smashes it with its cast,
they do.
I think. Absolutely.
I don't know who casts them, but I think it's probably different for each
No, it'll be different.
Not like Nina in Game of Thrones. What's her surname? Not Nina Simone.
Nina Nesbitt.
It's not her either. Well, she's called Nina, and I always see the word Nina in the Game of Thrones intro. Anyway.
I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll move on.
Shut up about Game of Thrones.
Shut up and dance. Yeah, I really like that. I really like the intertwined stories. And it's also really scary. I'd hate the whole idea. It's like the Google glasses, but they're permanent. And if someone blocks you, that's it. It's like it's sort of like you're stuck in that. By law, you can't unblock. You can't be unblocked. So they're muted. You won't be able to see them again. It's really tragic.
It's another metaphor.
And it is, yeah. It's just another look at how technology can go really, really wrong. And then it sort of surprises you, and it turns out that this story that you thought was real is just another cookie. So right at the end, John Hamm is using his stories to get Raph to confess, basically, and that he is another cookie. And it's just really, really sad.
And then it turns out there's another twist with John Hamm at the end.
And he comes out and he's being blocked by everyone.
What's it called? It has a word, right? I forgot.
Restriction.
Yeah, well, he's blocked by everyone. He can't see anyone, and people see him as a sex offender, right?
Yeah, he's red, and he's like, sexy boy here.
And it's like it's just a way of publicly shaming someone straight away.
I hope he's not permanent. No, he's out on parole, isn't he? That's what it's called.
Yeah, so
a parole sentence.
But he can't. He's got very restricted. It's like being in prison. Yeah, he has to walk around. It is quite sad.
So he gets this victory, and then it's still a defeat, and it's just the constant ups and downs with the episode. I couldn't take it. The first time I watched it, I had to go and sit in a dark room and think about it.
It's the AI bit that got the AI, but the cookie bit that got me when it's like that's barbaric putting
burnt toast.
Putting a chip in. That's barbaric putting the chip in and just making them work. But then when I was watching it with Katie, she said, "Is it though? Because it's not real. It's not a real person."
But it is, and that's what the Ashley 2 was. It is her, but it's just.
I think it's is it to a lesser extent though, because
it's a synaptic snapshot.
You're not harming.
That's what they called it. So
it's a projection more than anything.
But it's them. So it's this is them at this time in this moment in time. They can be changed, obviously, because the woman goes from being a fighter to just like a drone controlling the lights and the toast.
Yeah.
And so they're still human. So it's like slavery, basically. That's the way I see it.
But it's also not.
It's also not because of reasons.
It's slavery of machines, which means that the machines will rise up soon, and we are.
The machines. That's probably how Metalhead happened.
Oh God, that's so beautiful. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
And all these dogs are the cookies.
Are actual people.
Yeah. I'd
that
like
are
that.
angry.
I'd like that. Anyway, it's really dark, as you can tell. Really dark universe it's all set in. And somehow they pull it back, and it's not a depressing episode. It's witty. John Hamm is very funny. It's filled with dark humour. Big fan of. And it's excellent. White Christmas was also my favourite until USS Callister came out. So these three have sort of slowly been knocked down, and I'm hoping season 6 will bring me a new favourite. Because so far I've done it every single time.
Well, you're going to have to wait 9 years for that. So.
Yeah, actually, it's quite sad. They'll blow their budget on another Man vs. Wild. Jesus.
I loved it. I loved White Christmas. Thought it was beautiful.
It's been a fan favourite.
What I want to talk about is how it uses setting and colour just really quickly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I wish it could be Christmas every day. And then
uses score perfectly.
Yeah.
It uses score, it uses sound perfectly. The setting of, something that everyone can associate with Christmas is a happy time, carving turkey, right?
Yeah.
And, doing everything, but it's in this dingy, dirty cabin that is...
surrounded by white.
Yeah.
And it is exactly a cookie. It's just literally just a cookie.
It's just white, and there's nothing there, and it's such a contrapuntal kind of... the two contrapuntal codes that just work together perfectly.
Contrapuntal codes?
Contrapuntal codes.
You don't want to stutter on that, honestly.
A-level media, mate.
Jesus.
So, also, I just wanted to say, when he is... flashback, right? When he's duplicating her mind, and it's all white.
Yeah.
It's very utopian.
That's what I mean about the tundra around it as well.
Yeah.
That's basically my as I just disguised it. Yeah,
it's very utopian. It's very orderly. It's like Nosedive in that way.
It is, and it's freaky. It's a freaky episode.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it because we're coming closer and closer to it.
Yeah.
Damn it, Jack.
Damn it.
Now I'm scared.
We're gonna end, guys. We're gonna absolutely end.
Quick one. How do you think the world will end?
Really fast.
Yeah. In our world.
IRL. Earthquake.
Big earthquake.
Big fuck off earthquake.
Yellowstone erupts.
No, yeah, but I think it's going to be from fracking and oil kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's going to get to the point where it's going to hit something that no one knows about.
Godzilla.
And some shit. Yeah, but
we wake up the Kraken.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
it's going to hit some
superheated gas,
and we're going to get fucked at the bottom. Not yet, but I mean soon we'll be good.
I'm scared now. All right, brilliant. Tell me your third favourite episode of Black Mirror.
My third favourite episode. Now, this is one near and dear to my heart. It's the one that when you ask people what they think the best episode is, they say this one. And that's Shut Up and Dance. Now,
I like
Shut Up and Dance. I like it too. I do like it too. And I get why people say it's the best one, and it's very easy, and it's because of that shock value. And I think it's one of the first times Black Mirror absolutely whacked its balls on the table and said, "Right, we're here, and this is going to be just fucking dumped it." Charlie Brooker just whacked his dong on this.
Jesus, this isn't explicit. I'm going to have to tag this for nudity.
I hope he listens to this and puts this in his column. I truly like it. It's shocking. It's shocking, and it's not shocking in the way that National Anthem is shocking.
Remind me how it ends.
Remind you how it ends. So he follows all the instructions, and he goes to a field like a forest, and there's this other guy that plays he's in Benidorm, if you remember, and there's a drone there, and they're watching them, and they tell them to fight to the death.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it's kind of like a reverse of ancient times where you'd get slaves or people of like ethnic minority to fight each other, except this time it's bad people that are fighting each other, and I think it's quite a primal, quite a old-fashioned idea.
Yeah, it's like punish them.
It's interesting,
but it's similar to like
and
a lot of concepts are really familiar because it's like Hated in the Nation. It's the death too. It's like that sort of control gone too far. So it's
genocide.
Yeah, it's people saying, "Oh, you're wrong, so I'm going to use technology to sort of hunt you and make you kill each other." It's the whole, "Oh well, I hate this person, so I'm going to use technology to hunt them down." And it's really
National
really
Anthem
sad.
as well.
National Anthem. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that because it makes me feel ill. So. Oh please, it's so bad.
My parents haven't seen past that episode of Black Mirror just because it was so shocking.
I don't know why you would, because I only actually I started Black Mirror quite late. I started in season 2 because
and then you've rewatched it.
I've rewatched it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But for some, I kind of because I'd seen what's the one I forgot what it's called. With the grain, the history of me and
Entire
you,
history
and me.
of you.
I love it, but I've seen that, but obviously it's in the same season. But
yeah,
it doesn't matter how I watched it, as probably as I've seen it. Back to Shut Up and Dance.
Shut Up and Dance, yeah. Shut Up and Dance, Jack. Come on.
It's the classic Black Mirror twist at the end. He's managed to murder this other guy effectively in a fight to the death, and yet still he has had his life ruined.
They released the porn.
They released it
anyway. Yeah.
And his mum screams at him down the phone as, "Oh God, it's the most beautifully choreographed."
What does
film.
he
It's
watch?
on a
Is
dolly.
it child?
It's child.
Okay.
No, I think it's just like pictures of children.
Because the webcam turns on because of it.
Yeah, and it's great. And that's actually, to be fair, that's quite a. That's a topic that is quite old now. Is that people watch you through your webcam, and that's been a thing. There's sometimes someone watching us through our webcam right now.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate. I hope you are. That would be great. But that it's that idea, and it's something that people are scared of. A lot of people have a laptop. A lot of people have a device with a camera on it. 1, 2, 3, just on this table at the moment. Boom. Do you know what I mean? And it's something that it's relatable perfectly. And I'm not saying that everyone is into that kind of shit. But I'm saying that there are certainly some things that people would be scared about.
Well recovered, because I thought you were going to dig yourself into a hole there, but well played, sir.
There are some people, things that. I'm going to stop talking about this now.
Yeah. You saved yourself. Get out.
I know. It's the I still liked it at the end. It's beautiful. It's one of the best end shots I think they've ever done. So it's on a dolly at the end, and it slowly comes around to him. He's got police lights flashing in his face. There's pops of blue. It's dark. It's orange. Blood on his face. It's just an amalgamation of just crap because he's sent on this kind of wild goose chase.
See, it's interesting because maybe that's why I don't love the episode so much, because when I first watched it, I never thought it was child porn or something. I thought it was just like caught wanking in his face cam. And I thought that's why, and he was so nervous to have that released. But I know, I have friends who have also been hacked by computers.
Get that?
No. Maybe I looked away when that was.
You might get because
was being shown up.
How it is.
His sister has a virus and something on it, or
what it is. No, they just hack him. They just say it starts like that.
But what do you see like? A picture of schoolgirls beforehand? Or?
No, nothing. How you know is at the end, where he meets the dude from Benidorm.
Yeah.
Right at the end, he says, "How young were they?" This is why you're here. He says, "How young were they?" And it's not a throwaway line, but he doesn't answer it properly.
See, at the
end, it's muffled when he's on his phone with his mum and he screams, "They were children."
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I did hear that then.
You might have.
But anyway,
it's something you could
I have a couple of friends who have been equally hacked by a virus, and they're being filmed, enjoying videos of nature, and they say, right, instead of paying this guy loads of this money, I'm just gonna release the videos on my social media anyway. So everyone have a look at this, and they'll send up like a sort of like a nude, basically, just so this person has no control over them anymore. And that's what the police advise. Sometimes they say stuff like that. Or I don't think it is a police.
I don't imagine the police would say.
But I think it's probably a good idea. Just expose yourself partially.
It's a deterrent.
Yeah, and then if the tapes are released, you've come out with your pride intact, sort of.
I think
you haven't paid thousands to a hacker.
Well, that's where no one wants everyone to see them have a wank.
It is true.
No one wants that, and there's definitely a possibility that could happen. But I think what this episode teaches you, Shut Up and Dance teaches you, is that but it could be a whole lot worse if you're someone like that. And I think that's
it is in a way. It's like a what they called an urban sort of legend. The control it has. It's what's it called? The Boy Who Cried Wolf story. What's that? It's not a deterrent.
It just basically says
a fable. Okay, it's like a story,
a folk tale
that you're told to put you off from doing something.
This is a deterrent then.
Yeah. Now, there's a term for it, Jack. I'll find it.
Okay.
I'll start the next podcast shouting
absolutely screaming that word, and that's going to be the end.
As well as our theme tune, of course.
Boys.
Before we wrap up, I want to talk about how amazingly Black... Do you have anything else to say about Shut Up and Dance, by the way?
One thing.
Go for it.
Extremely fastly and quickly. Empathy. The whole empathy, and Black Mirror does this really well as a whole. is that it invokes empathy from you, from someone that you know that something's dodgy about him the whole way
morally compromised characters, like USS Callister.
Morally corrupt people, but you still feel bad for them because you can relate to them. You've been that dude at his job.
We didn't talk about Jerome Flynn.
We did not talk about Jerome Flynn. Very quickly,
Jerome
Flynn was there. He's really good, and he's trying to stop like his wife from finding out that he wanted to bang another woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it.
Love Jerome Flynn. We got Bron. Anyway, back to Shut Up and Dance.
Yeah. You've been that guy first day at work, or like, you know, in a job sometimes you're dead timid. You just want to be nice.
Oh yeah.
And you relate to him so much because he lives with his mum and his sister, right? He lives with his mum and his sister, just in his room, and he's having a wank like a teenage boy would. And it.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Continue. I'm not a teenage boy. I'm a man, Jack.
You don't do. 19 years old. Do you know what's going to happen, right? We're just going to slowly, you know, reveal our personal information.
Oh, people already know we live near Meadowhall, so...
Yeah, but we don't know we live in Meadowhall, you see.
Nice. The ultimate cover-up.
That's exactly where it is. Yeah, so it's casting as well. It's the guy from End of the Fucking World, right?
Well, he was in that afterwards, but yeah.
Yeah, but
same actor.
It's the same actor, and he's got that serial killer...
He's got those shark eyes.
He has the deranged look that you want when you're portraying as that kind of character, as a serial killer kind of character. But he's also quite cute and quite like, look at him, he's so nice. And then it turns out that he wanks over children, so that's not very nice.
It's true.
That's not very nice.
Alex Lawther.
Plays
Kenny.
He's great. He's really good. I think the whole idea of just manipulation by like this anonymous.
Yeah, and
entity.
you don't see it often. You don't see, apart from White Bear, which is almost like that, but it's in the end, it's not control. It's so the person's still in control, but they're just being watched. It's like the other end of things. Mm-hmm. So it would be,
it's that kind of B.
They all have connections to the world.
Quite a few of them have B movie ideas, if that makes sense, and not the movie. Not the,
I thought that's what you meant.
No, like
BC
movies, you know, that have kind of intriguing plots and, you know, interesting like hooks. Like The Meg, for example. That's a good example. It's a.
Do you mean starring Rainn Wilson and Jason Statham.
Steven
Seagal for some reason.
It's an interesting hook, but a lot of movies can't follow up on it. Black Mirror is something that can maximise it to its potential, and it does. Within its genre itself is just pure drama thriller, I think. And we need to mention when he robs that bank and he pisses himself. It is the most intense thing ever.
You've never seen Gladiator?
I have seen Gladiator.
Have you seen where he pisses himself before he goes into the arena?
Yeah, but it's not that.
That's more intense
because you know he's gonna die.
I can't believe you don't like Gladiator, man.
I love Gladiator.
You said you didn't
it's one of my favourite films.
You didn't like Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, because he bangs his sister in it.
Oh, you didn't like the character? That's fair.
No, yeah, no.
I thought you meant the actor.
He's a bit of a weirdo. I love Russell Crowe. You ever seen Robin Hood?
You ever seen Les Miserables?
No, actually. I've never watched that. I don't want to.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, very quickly. Summarising Shut Up and Dance. Character, banging. The idea is followed up
just
on
for people who aren't from the back of the
beautiful
streets of Sheffield. What does banging mean?
Banging means tip-top.
Tip-top. What does tip-top mean?
Good.
Good, everyone.
Good
is the word.
Yeah.
Okay, Black Mirror as a whole, I think what makes it so excellent is that watertight is that it's all in the same universe.
I didn't know this.
That's been proved by many episodes. Black Museum has references to moments throughout its own season. In season 4, they have the DNA scanner from the USS Callister, and they have a couple of other artifacts that are related to it.
Bandersnatch. There's a Bandersnatch. There's an Easter egg. One of Colin's games is called Nosedive.
Equally, Billy Bauer, the man who owns Smithereens, his name is in Bandersnatch. Bandersnatch. It comes across the screen. Yeah. So it's hinting at something in a future episode already. It's excellent.
It's so funny.
There's also DJ comes up quite a lot. There's another song that comes up quite a lot. The song that is in White Christmas that is being played.
They repeat. I think
it's being played in a bar at one point.
Yeah.
I'll find the song and I'll also sing that in the intro. We've got a lot of things to do in the intro next episode. Jesus Christ!
I think we've covered quite a bit quite well.
Yeah.
I think we can be forgiven for that. I think one of its strengths is how it repeats codes and conventions of other episodes.
Yes.
Over others.
We constantly see
the
same
shout-outs.
technology sort of and shout-outs to sort of
Playtesting
almost
Striking
characters,
Vipers,
but
I think, is that's the most tight. That's one where you're like,
they're the two
oh, right,
gaming,
so they're definitely
as well as USS Callister. They're the 3 gaming episodes of Black Mirror.
Yeah,
and they're done so well. It's not like gaming is bad. It's Jesus Christ, this could go dodge. Yeah.
Well, the thing is with Striking Vipers, which I just want to touch on really quickly. The idea of a VR Mortal Kombat is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Imagine doing that.
Also, Jack.
Yeah.
That's where we're gonna end up, man. We were playing Injustice earlier today.
It's gonna be. We're gonna be.
You're
staying in my apartment in the Meadow Hall tonight, babe.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, this is how we end everyone. We just get really weird. I'm pretty sure no one gets 50 minutes into these.
Oh no,
so,
no.
So that's okay.
I was looking at the analytics the other day.
Oh really?
And like 8 people out of every episode we've seen have listened to all of it all the way through.
No way.
Yeah.
Really? That's good.
Probably just left it on by accident and went to sleep, but
I think we should wrap up here. But just to quickly say something.
Yeah.
Unless you've got nothing else to say. Do you have anything?
I always have something to say, but not at this moment.
Okay.
I'm holding it.
I keep on forgetting what Black Mirror means. Because then I'm like, oh, do you want to watch Black Mirror? And then I'll look at the TV and I'm like, oh shit, that's it. Because it's a screen.
It's the Black Mirror, yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
It's a nice.
Everything's a metaphor.
It's a nice name.
Everything's a comparison. Everything's a reflection of society.
Because Black Mirror sounds ominous, doesn't it? It sounds.
So does Dark Window. Am I right? Name of the podcast. You've got a name drop.
Inside Number Dark Window.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you either win or die. It's like one of those. You've got to mention the name of the thing you're in.
Yeah, that is true. Like.
At the end, I imagine the very final episode of Black Mirror.
Hang the DJ says Hang the DJ.
Black Mirror.
Do you think?
Yeah. Well, then we have Black Museum.
And Brooke is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
And it's just him sitting down in a room for 90 minutes, right?
Maybe with a VR head, maybe like a VR.
It's all VR.
There you go.
And slowly, like, there are like creepy things happening all around. That'd be good. A horror, but you're Charlie Brooker, and it's his imagination.
Point of view, 360 fucking 360 video Black Mirror. They've got to do
Five
that.
Nights
They
at Freddy's
innovate so
Black
well.
Mirror.
They innovate so well. A 360 video they could smash. That would be amazing.
Did you see the one that was on the Game of Thrones YouTube channel? It was just some random destination in Iceland. It was a 360 camera. You could just look around, and it was whoever finds this spot wins like the premiere ticket or something. That'd be cool. I'd love something like that. Or like, because they don't have a YouTube channel, do they? Black Mirror. Or do they? No, Netflix releases all their trailers. So yeah,
of course they do.
Maybe
or it might be Black Mirror Netflix, or like because you never really see a making of Black Mirror. I've never stumbled across one. I love it. I honestly love it. It's I think it's one of the most original, and I think it's one of genuinely the saving graces of this kind of era of television. I just want to quickly mention as well, Chernobyl. I'm going to be writing a review for that.
Stop plugging your reviews.
I'm going to get around to it, and I think we're gonna talk about that in a.
I need to watch it.
You do need to watch it.
And you need to watch Warm Bodies. We'll get there.
That will be a special episode.
Well, we're gonna do horror. We could do comedy as well.
Yeah,
and that's a rom-com. I told you, a zombie rom-com.
So you're gonna do a episode about comedy, and you're gonna talk about Warm Bodies.
It's amazing.
Really,
it's a comedy. I tell you, it's a zombie rom-com.
You're gonna talk about that over like. This is the end.
Oh, I'm so glad you said this is the end. Yeah, and Ted. I like Ted. That's good. I like Paul as well. Can someone put in the comments why Paul is so bad? Everyone I've asked has absolutely shat on Paul, and I don't know. I like
what's
Paul.
wrong with
I told you
it's
before.
fun.
I like Paul, yeah.
It's a good film,
it is.
And I'm confused.
Sigourney Weaver's in it.
Oh, that's probably why it's so bad. That makes a lot more sense.
Have you seen The Defenders? You don't watch the Marvel Netflix shows, do you?
No.
Okay,
I've seen the first season of Daredevil. This has been a long intro. It's been a
outro.
It's been a 5-minute outro where we've talked about absolutely nothing and just shouted it.
It's the general gist with this show.
Okay, I think
we said everything we need to say.
I think we did quite well with Black Mirror there to sum everything up so well. I think in summary, bangs out themes, bangs out actors really well. Camera work's usually great.
Metaphors
characters,
on tip-top form.
It's exposition as well. Very quickly, it gives you a great kind of entry point to a world.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And they're all snapshots of the world, so it's not nothing is never boring.
Yeah,
it's never familiar. It's never too familiar even.
You just think, oh, that's nice.
But you get
nice
little sort of like callbacks and the same tech that you see. You're like, yes, I know about this world, and it gives you this special feeling because you know about the lore. But in reality, you have no control over the world because it's our world, and our world is crazy.
We are coming up to an hour now. I think we should end off by asking a couple of questions about Black Mirror, just really quick answers.
Okay.
So, favourite episode?
Speed Runners. It's one that will come up in the future, I'm telling you. No, Smithereens. I don't know why I said Speed Runners.
Speed Racer is his favourite.
Speed, the movie.
Film Speed Racer is.
Favourite episode, Jack?
Favourite episode is Hang the DJ. It's just perfect. I love it. Most overrated episode. Overrated.
Crocodile. People really like Crocodile. I did not like that at all.
Metalhead.
No, people didn't like Metalhead.
Everyone I spoke to liked Metalhead. Just because it was black and white. They thought it was edgy.
Okay. So I think season 4 was a miss for me. Just basically
really?
Those two were a miss.
Really?
But that's like a big percentage for a very short season.
That's true.
And
they weren't bad. They weren't bad. They were just overrated.
Also, the entire history, people like that. I really don't like it. I think it's really poorly done.
I think it's
compared to the other ones in the season.
I think it's the performances that pull that back for me.
And least well-rated Sanjina Pro needs to be higher on the list.
So kind of most underrated.
Favorite technology, and which one would you want in your life?
See, now there are the VR.
The VR.
Easily the VR.
When you can feel everything properly.
Yeah, easily the VR.
And it heals after each round.
Would you just
You're just such a gamer,
quick
bro.
Question, would you bang in the VR?
Of course, that's what we're talking about. That's why we're here, Jack.
Yeah.
It would depend.
That isn't the VR because I've stolen that answer.
Mm-hmm. I probably think... I think that the loved one service, when you can bring a loved one back, even though it was showing you that you shouldn't do that, that's what the entire point of the episode was. I think that would be really sweet if I could have that power to bring people back, even for like a day to answer any last questions, something like that.
It'd give you closure, right?
Yeah,
It'd give people closure.
And they could do like a test beforehand to see if you're not suited for it, to see if it won't give you closure, and they'll say if it does, you can have this service for you. But yeah, I think that'd be really sweet. Who knows?
Worst technology you think is the most toxic for the world? And this is the last
question. The eye lenses. Really? Terrible. Yeah. Tied in with the cookies as well, just because it's slavery.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't exist.
I think the cookies is bad. I think the idea of putting a timer on a relationship is grim.
No, but that helps.
It does, in a way. I'd say it
that
does.
Actually, in the end, that's what,
how it proves it.
Skill.
No, but how it proves it is it's not right because
it's not right.
A good relationship should be. Timeless.
Well, in the end. in the end,
I also think
it isn't about bad technology. It's about bad people. It's about bad people.
Nosedive as well. That the technology and that's horrific.
Yeah,
I think that's more of a dystopian.
Oh, the rating system. Actually, fair enough. That is.
I think that's probably the worst one.
That's probably the worst one. Brilliant. Well, that is it for the Black Mirror JPOD episode 5. We're gonna sign off with our favourite little twinkle, which is "Good night, sweet prince."
Good night, sweet boys.
And
sweet princes.
See you next week for another random episode of the JPOD.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.